Let's take a look at the testing canvas. The testing canvas is a helpful template to translate your assumptions into tangible experiments, learnings, and next steps. We go through the canvas step by step using the Simplify example from the Blue Box Kickbook. Let's start by describing our assumption. Our example assumption concerns our customers. In this case, we assume that continuous improvement managers will sign up for a pilot with our beta software, as they see the advantages of a new Simplify solution versus existing old-school process tools. We mark this assumption as critical as we plan to sell Simplify to the buyer persona of continuous improvement managers. Important. Before we start to test the assumption with an experiment, we have to define how we measure if the data that we get from the experiment supports or falsifies our assumption. For that, we think of a metric and we determine a threshold to prove the assumption is correct. In the example, we measure the number of won pilot contracts and set the threshold or success criteria to be 5 won pilot contracts. After defining our assumption and success KPI, we move on to the middle part of the testing canvas. Here we look at which experiment we want to run to test our assumption. I recommend you to use the experiment cards for that. Get inspired by a selection of hands-on experiments and learn how to use them. In this case, we decided to go for a sales outreach. We reach out to potential target customers by searching for them on LinkedIn. We then schedule a Microsoft Teams call to present and discuss our solution. After some follow-up calls, we sign a pilot contract. To help us prioritize and plan our experiments, we rate the average time it takes us to run the experiment, the costs we have to invest, and the data reliability we will get out of these tests. In the Simplify example, the average time spent is high, as we will have to engage with potential customers multiple times before they sign a contract. On the other hand, the costs are moderate, as we will most likely not need much more than a LinkedIn Sales Navigator license to find the right prospects. And as we get a strong commitment from our buyers, the data reliability is very high. So we have defined our assumption and the relevant KPIs. Let's assume we have also ran the experiment. Now we can use the testing canvas to record our learnings. To do so, we note down our observations and choose whether our assumptions have been verified or disproved. In this example, we observe that most companies are interested to learn from our expertise, but reluctant to sign a contract at this stage and onboard their employees on a beta tool. As a consequence, we had to disprove our assumption. No matter what the results are of the experiment, there are always surprising new insights which are worth noting down. In the Simplify example, we realized that the IT and procurement departments are most challenging when it comes to signing a contract. The last building block of the canvas is about defining next steps and actions to take, based on the learnings from the experiment. In this case, we will try to get interested continuous improvement managers to sign up for a workshop that doesn't yet involve a software license. There we will try to learn what it takes to convince IT and procurement teams to sign a contract. So, now it's your turn. Give it a try and apply to your Kickbox project. I'm sure the testing canvas will prove very useful to get the most out of assumption testing.